For those of you who are interested for the end of this video, I'm going to do a second video for the end. So I'm going to call this part 2, okay? So I'm on the wild yam and the progestins to try to help naturally balance out my hormones. So I'm going to do that for a bit, the metformin and those 2 other things, to see if I can't start feeling better. I asked my doctor to hold off on the Clomid until I could see kind of how my body was reacting to the metformin. And I'm so glad that I did, because I was so sick for roughly the 2 weeks that I've been on it. So my next appointment with her is tomorrow. I think I might extend that further along or make another appointment, because my appointment tomorrow, we're supposed to discuss what we're supposed to do with my cycle. So with my cycle, with your uterine lining, you slough it off every month. Well, the females. If you're a male watching this, I apologize for all the female descriptive information, but bear with me. You slough off your uterine lining, right? And you're not supposed to, your uterine lining should not be any thicker than a centimeter. When they gave me an ultrasound about a month ago and tested how thick my uterine lining was, it was 0.8. It was 8 millimeters. So I only had 2 millimeters to work with before I needed to take additional steps to make sure my uterine lining doesn't get too thick, because it could cause complications and it could cause endometriosis. It could cause pregnancy issues if I get pregnant with it being too thick. You know, there's just so many different things that could happen. So they want you to make sure that that uterine lining is being sloughed off. Well, it's been a month since they tested it, and it's been a whole nother month since I have not had my menstruation. So we're kind of playing with a really small window here. So either I could take the Clomid and make myself ovulate, and then I for sure will slough that off in 2 weeks after ovulation, or I could take kind of like an abortion pill. That sounds awful. I know. I felt awful just saying it. There's no baby in there, guys. But it's like a pill, like the morning after pill kind of a thing, which will it will just make you slough that uterine lining. And so I've talked to a few people who have experienced that for medical purposes, and they said that taking that drug was so much better on their psyche instead of the Clomid, because the Clomid, like I said before, my husband and I call it the divorce pill, because it makes you super crazy, and I really, 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 really didn't want to experience that again, because I've already experienced that and it was awful. So I need to do one or the other. If my body is not going to naturally do it on its own, and it's not looking like it's doing it much better. I can tell that I take my temperature every morning to track where my cycle is. So if those of you who are unfamiliar with temping, it's a special thermometer called a basal body temperature thermometer, and it tests differently than like if you had a fever or something. It tests, like your female hormone temperature. And so if you have high estrogen, your temp will be high, and if your progesterone, then no, I'm sorry, I'm mistaken. The other way around. If you have high estrogen, your temp will stay low, pretty low, and if you have a progesterone spike, your temp will go up. So I've been temping every morning, and with the high estrogen, I stayed down a lot. Down. And then I have like random progesterone spikes, but then nothing happens. So I know I'm not ovulating, and so I might have to decide one or the other. But with my doctor's appointment being tomorrow, I'm not ready to make that decision yet. So I might call in and make it in a few more weeks. Anyway, that's my update, guys. I had a lot to say. If you made it through the next video, good job, guys. Thank you for making it through this with me. Thank you for following my journey. So to cap the weight loss, this is why I've been having such a hard time losing this weight or releasing this weight. I released that 20 pounds and it just came right back on. And that's pretty much how it's been my entire adult life, with my hormones being out of whack. So it does feel reassuring that there is a reason why it's happening, but it also is really hard because I have a long journey ahead of me, and it's okay. I've had to mull over some things and process what's going on with me. Oh, it says it's gonna stop soon, so I'm gonna round this up. That wasn't the right term. So we're going to keep going at this journey and see where I get to in the next few months. So if you've been following my journey, thank you so much for all of your support.